Barcelona are one of the world's biggest clubs, but last year was an absolute stinker for them. Not only did Real Madrid storm La Liga, but they won yet another Champions League. And they've just signed Kylian Mbappe, one of the world's best players, all while Barcelona are completely broke. But it's not all doom and gloom for Barca, guys, because now I'm stepping in, as Barcelona have just revealed me as their brand new manager to fix all of their problems. And my job won't be finished until I win Barcelona the Champions League. But doing that isn't going to be straightforward, as the board have given me absolutely no money to spend. I mean, in fairness, they are broke. But the board have also told me that every year I've got to sell a minimum of 3 players in order to get the funds for the transfers myself. Guys, this one really isn't going to be easy. But here we are, guys, in season number 1 with Barca, and as we take a look at this team, regardless of their financial circumstances, this team is world class. I mean, just look at some of the players they've got, man. Pedri, Ronald Araujo, Frankie de Jong, and obviously Robert Lewandowski. They are obviously missing a certain Lamine Yamal. I mean, I find it crazy that he's just won the Euros, but he's not even in career mode. But one thing we will be doing is treating this like it's the new season, so João Cancelo and also João Felix are back at their parent club. But after going through the squad up, even though that their financial circumstances aren't exactly the best, we can safely say that this team is phenomenal. But I think we do need to change the formation to the 4-3-3 flat. I'm planning on using 3 centre midfielders in the middle of the park. As for the tactics, you already knew this was coming. Tiki-taka. I mean, it's Barcelona, for goodness sake. It's the only one we can use. And after quickly meddling with the team, this is by a country mile, in my opinion, our best starting team that we can field. But that, of course, brings us to the financial situation. We've got absolutely no money in our budget. And the board has made it very clear that we're giving ourselves the money to spend on players, because we've got to sell a minimum of 3 players every year. So if we want to take this Barcelona team to that next level where they're getting the better of Real Madrid every year, we got to figure out which 3 players that we want to sell. And I think I know who the first player I'm selling is, guys. Robert Lewandowski. He's 90 overall granted, one of the world's best strikers, but he's 34 years old. And given the fact he's that age and we can get about 60 odd million for him, I feel like this one's just a no-brainer. Following him is Ilkay Gundogan as well. Granted, he's 86 overall, but he's 32 years old, and like Lewandowski, we can get a lot of goddamn money for him. And the third and final player, guys, is Martinez, our 32-year-old centre-back, who we can get about 25 million for. I mean, there's definitely a pattern with these 3 players. They're all in their early 30s, they're out of their prime right now, but we can definitely make quite a bit of money from them, and that's exactly what we're after. And that didn't take long, guys. Lewandowski's left the club. Unfortunately, though, after Lewandowski left the club, Gundogan and Martinez simply did not attract any interest whatsoever, so I had to pivot on what I was going to do. So as you can see, I sold Lewandowski for 88 million, I've sold Romeo to Chelsea for 16.4 mil, and Sergio Roberto to Inter for 15.5 million. I mean, to be fair, Sergio Roberto and Romeo weren't players I was going to use, so this does kind of work out quite well anyway. Especially now that we've got 173 million euros to spend. The question is, where the hell do we put that money? Well, I'm thinking a better right back might be a good way to go, because we've only got Julian Araujo, who's currently on loan to UD Las Palmas, and he's only 75 overall himself. I also think a stronger second choice keeper might be the way to go. I mean, if anything happens to Ter Stegen, we've got Peña in goal, and he's absolutely woeful. So I got right to work on sorting that out, as I spent 34.4 million euros on Marcin Bulka. He's a very good keeper already, and he's still only in his early 20s, so he's got a lot of time to improve, and if anything happens to Ter Stegen, I wouldn't exactly mind him filling his boots. As for the right back, I went big and bold, as I spent 78 million on Bayer Leverkusen's Jeremy Frimpong. And he is legit, guys, in his early 20s and already 84 overall. We're after a long-term replacement for Sergio Roberto, and we've absolutely found one. But here lies the issue, guys. We've got 50 million left to spend, and quite honestly, I don't want to spend it. I'm feeling like our transfer window's done and dusted. Yes, we could obviously replace Vitor Roque with somebody better, but he's only 18, he's an exciting prospect, and he's 76 overall. I reckon we give this guy 1 year and 1 year alone to see what he can do. As for the team itself, I think it looks pretty damn decent, and if I do say so myself, we're a contender to win bloody everything this year. And that includes the UCL, as we're in Group H alongside Porto, Shakhtar Donetsk and Royal Antwerp FC. I mean, I hope we do well in the Champions League anyway, because the board have taken all of the remaining budget that we had away from us. They're not mucking around when it comes to paying that debt off, are they? So the question is now, was I right in only spending money on these two players, or is that going to really come back to bite me in the backside come the end of season 1? Well, so far it's not looking very good, guys. We're third in La Liga, 10 points behind the champions, obviously Real Madrid. I mean, they're just a cheat code, aren't they? They've literally got Kylian Mbappe, Vinny Jr. and Rodrigo as their front three. How do you compete against that? And just look at this, guys. They've also beaten us to win the Super Cup. And we've also had a stinker in the Copa de España. I'm hoping we've done better in the Champions League, otherwise this season is a washout. Thankfully so far it's looking good as we've topped Group H with flying colours. We've also decimated Benfica in the round of 16. Oh my god. We've also beaten Man City in the quarters. We could be playing United, Dortmund or Napoli. Oh, give me Napoli. Please give me Napoli. I can't believe it. We got Napoli and lost to them 2-0 clean as a whistle. We'd have been better off playing Dortmund or bloody United. Worst thing is, we didn't even lose to the Champions League winners. Man United beat Napoli in the final. I cannot believe that. What a wasted opportunity to get to the final. I mean, come on. If this team right in front of us can beat Manchester City, we should absolutely decimate Napoli. As for our stats, guys, they're pretty damn impressive. Surprisingly, Rafinha's our top goal contributor, getting 26 goals and 8 assists. But Vitor Roque, despite his improvement, had a shocker of a year, man. Only 8 goals in 46 games. A Larkon did better than him with less game time. Another one that's surprising, İlkay Gundogan got 27 goal contributions in 50 games for a 33-year-old. I've got to say, that is pretty impressive. But the problem is we've got no money going into Season 2 because after we'd spent the money in the transfer window was done, as you guys know, the board completely wiped our budget to pay off the debt that they're in. So going into Season 2, we've got to figure out what 3 players that we're going to sell to not only help Barca pay the debt off, but help us to actually buy players to replace the ones that we're selling. But before we go any further, did you lot know I'm racing this Twerp right here Raman to 100,000 subscribers? Right now, I am winning this race, but in order to beat him, I'm going to need your help. I'm going to need you to leave a like on this video if you're enjoying it so far and smash that subscribe button if you're new. Well, guys, we're into Season 2 and I figured out the 3 players that I'm going to sell. I'm going to try and sell Gundogan again, I'm going to try and sell Martinez again, and this time I'm putting Inaki Peña on the transfer list. I mean, we've already got Marcin Bulka, who's 1 year younger and 5 ratings high. We really don't need Peña anymore, do we? And on top of that, when you look at their market values overall, guys, I reckon we should get a pretty decent amount of money. And if that is the case and we spend it right, we could take Barcelona from a semi-finalist in the UCL to the finals. And thankfully this time we've been able to sell Martinez. It's about time, isn't it? And look who else we've been able to sell. İlkay Gundogan is finally leaving the building. And finally, Peña has also been sold. That means this time we've actually been able to sell the 3 players that I wanted to sell. And we've got 66 million euros to show for it as well. And I'm not being funny, guys. We spend this correctly, we definitely stand a great chance of winning La Liga and also the Champions League. But you'd be mistaken in thinking I'm doing anything to the starting 11 because quite frankly, guys, I don't feel like we need to mess with the starting 11 for at least another year. And yes, this does mean that Vitor Roque is getting 1 more year up top on his own. If he doesn't do better than he did last season, or at least by a great amount anyway, he's definitely getting replaced in Season 3. But for now at least, I want to work on the depth we've got on the bench. I mean, defensively we're looking decent, our wingers are looking decent, we just need a better second choice striker and we need a better midfielder. So with that being said, I got right to work in bolstering our midfield by spending 28 million on Ruben Loftus-Cheek. I absolutely love this guy at Chelsea and I think he's a great player. He's 28, 81 overall. He'll do a damn good job from the bench. And following game is Sardar Azmoun from Bayer Leverkusen, 29 years old, 79 overall. He looks pretty decent, guys, and hopefully he can do a job from the bench just like Ruben Loftus-Cheek. And that wraps up our transfer windows. I've just spent 18 million euros to make him a Barca player. And truth be told, I think we've done the right thing. Look at how strong our bench looks now in pretty much every single position. We've legitimately got every position covered now if anything happens to anyone in the starting 11. On top of that, behind the scenes, I have been training Ansu Fati to become a left winger. Hopefully he goes up and overall. There you go, even better. But I'll tell you what isn't better. The group we're in the UCL, PSG, Lazio and Victoria Plzen. That is legitimately the group of bloody death. I'm going to need a massive improvement from Vitor Roque this year, man. He had a stinker last season, but he's a much better player now. Hopefully, this is the season he makes his mark. But truth be told, even if Roque does have a stinker, the rest of this team surely should be able to carry him. I mean, we can't use Roque as an excuse that we're doing poorly when the rest of the team is that good. And with us signing Ruben Loftus-Cheek and also Sardar Azmoun, we can't exactly blame the depth we've got. There's literally no excuse this year why we can't win absolutely everything. And we're off to a great start, guys. We are the best team in Spain. We have won La Liga by 3 points. That's step number 1 complete, becoming the best team in Spain. Now we have to complete step 2 and winning the Champions League to become the best team in the world. But we can't even win the Copa de España as Osasuna knocked us out in the quarters. I'll be real, guys, if we can't even beat Osasuna, what chance do we stand in the group we've been bloody put in? Well, as it turns out, we stand a great chance as we finished second quite comfortably and we made it through to the round of 16, where we've just about got past Liverpool to qualify for the quarters. And we're in the semis after smashing Athletic Bilbao. We could be playing Juve, Leipzig or Inter Milan. Honestly, I don't feel confident playing against any of those teams after what happened last year. I freaking knew it. Look at that, man. What in God's name is going on? We lose 4-2 on aggregate to Inter Milan. How in God's name are we not beating teams like this? Last year it was Napoli. This season it's Inter Milan. What in God's carnation have Italian sides got against me, for goodness sake? I'm calling BS here, guys. How are we not beating Inter Milan with this team? Something dodgy is going on here, I'm telling you. And we certainly can't blame Vitor Roque this time because he's our top goal scorer, getting 26 goals in 47 games. That's a much better season for the lad. Go on, son. Ferran Torres, though, had a great year. 40 goal contributions in 48 games. 23 and 9 for Rafinha. 15 and 20 for Pedri. Jesus Christ, what a year we've had. But the good news ends there, guys, is we've got absolutely no money going into Season 3. Which means, yet again, we've got to figure out what 3 players that we're going to sell in order to not only help Barca pay their debt off, but help us improve the team. And believe me, guys, I have thought about just selling 3 of our reserves players and then going from there. But the way I see it, if we can't beat teams like Inter Milan or Napoli with this team, then there's something wrong with it that I'm just missing right now. But as soon as we figure out what's wrong with this Barca team, we're going to dominate world football, because if we are already winning La Liga, beating Real Madrid to it, imagine what we'll do when everything is going right in this Barcelona side. Okay, guys, we're now into Season 3 and I've figured out the 3 players that I'm going to sell this year. Starting with Pablo Torre, quite frankly, because he's an attacking midfielder, we're playing a formation he doesn't fit into, and he's worth quite a bit of money as well. There's also Julian Araujo. Quite frankly, guys, we don't really need him. We've got Serginho Dest if anything happens to our current fullbacks, and Julian Araujo is worth quite a bit of money too. And finally, there is Sardar Azmoun. I know we only bought him last year, but all of this money that we're going to get from selling all these 3 players is going to go into signing a much better second choice striker. Because to be honest, guys, I've looked at this team, I checked last year's stats, and the only thing I can come up with is that we are just bloody unlucky in the Champions League. I mean, last year combined, our entire front 3 got 98 goal contributions between them. Yes, I did count, and yes, you can go back and check if you don't believe me. Our midfield trio is, quite frankly, as good as it gets. It's got the perfect balance of attacking prowess, creativity, and defensive ability. As for our defensive lineup and goalkeeper, we've got to have one of the strongest back fours and goalies in the entire world right now. So all I can really think of doing is selling all 3 of these 3 players, getting all the money together to bring in a proper second choice striker. Other than that, I'm literally clueless. And there we go, guys. That's 1 player down, 2 more to sell. Make that 2 players sold with 1 more to go. Hopefully it doesn't take that long. However, guys, I completely jinxed myself. It took us so long to sell Sardar Azmoun, but thankfully, finally, in the end, we got rid of him. And as you can see, guys, we got rid of all 3 of these players for quite a decent amount of money, which altogether adds up to 62 million euros, and that is more than enough to bring in a proper good second choice striker. And you know what, guys? I have found the perfect player, Jonathan David. He's in his mid-20s, he's 83 overall, but he plays for the bottle job, so I think personally it's time to save his career. But he was not cheap, ladies and gents, as I've just spent 52 million to sign him, but I believe it's 52 million well spent. it. I mean, look at our bench now, for goodness sake. Majority of these guys would fit into any starting 11 in the world at this point. And that can only bode well for us heading into the Champions League, as we're with RB Leipzig, Marseille and SK Sturm Graz in Group C. And it's a strong start in La Liga too. 3 games played, 3 wins, undefeated. This absolutely has to be our year, man. The starting team is phenomenal, and so is the bench. I'm just hoping at this point we can avoid Italian sides altogether, because for some reason they're just Barcelona's kryptonite. But Real Madrid certainly aren't anymore, as we've got back-to-back La Liga titles, once again beating them to it by 3 points. They may have Mbappe, Vini Jr. and Rodrigo, it doesn't matter, we are levels above them now. But we still can't beat them in the Super Copa, so that's just great and dandy, isn't it? But we have won the Copa de España this time, beating Villarreal 2-1 to do it. Ladies and gents, we're on for the treble. We certainly are, as we've gone through Group C undefeated, we've topped it, flying through to the round of 16. And that's where we've beaten PSG 3-1. I don't care now. If we've beaten PSG, we can beat absolutely anybody. And we've got our revenge on Inter Milan, smashing them in the quarters. We could be playing Leipzig, Leverkusen, Man City. I swear to God, if we get Leverkusen, I'm going to flip my absolute shit. I can't believe it. We actually got Leverkusen and beat them anyway. This game has done everything it can to stop us reaching the final. It threw an Italian side in the quarters and our old bogey team, and we've beaten absolutely everyone. But now we got to beat Man City, who, let's be completely honest, are a different breed, aren't they? I mean, look at that team, for goodness sake. They've even signed Nico Williams. I mean, they must have paid attention to the Euros, because he was by a mile one of the best teams in it. But then again, our team isn't that bad either, is it? Rafinha got 26 and 8, 25 and 5 for David, 18 and 11 for Torres, and 17 and 2 for Vitor Roque. But I've just noticed they're both injured. Oh my God, please tell me they're not injured for the final. Thank God for that. They're not going to be sharp for the final, but they're able to play, which means our strongest starting 11 will be able to play against Manchester City. I mean, we do have Jonathan David and Fati on the bench, so if anything happens to Roque and Ferran Torres in the final, we do have decent options. But ladies and gents, despite us taking 3 years to do it, we finally got to the final. But it's not like we haven't been successful. We have won the Copa de España and 2 La Liga titles along the way. But now we have the chance to win an even bigger trophy than the ones we've already won, the Champions League. And all we got to do is get past Manchester City to do it. First attack of the game, Man City. Good save to Stegen. Man City coming forward with a vengeance. Look at this. What a tackle, Ronald Araujo. Record de Jong's on the ball, though. I see that run from Vitor Roque. Can he get past Kabore is the question. I feel like he might have the legs for it. Vitor Roque is away. Can he put it away? Yes, he can. 12 minutes into the game, our first attack of the game, Vitor Roque 1-0. Completely against the run of play as well. Frenkie de Jong slots it to Vitor Roque, and he just takes care of the rest. But look at this from Man City. They're coming back with a vengeance. They're playing some really nice football. Oh my days, how have they even got it through there to Stegen? What are you playing at there, lad? Phil Foden with the goal from absolutely nothing to Stegen's legitimately sliding a good 2 meters away from Foden. I mean, it's nice to know that Foden can actually score. I wonder where that was in the Euros. But just as quickly as we go 1-0 up, we have an equaliser. And what am I playing that there? Erling Haaland's on the ball. Jesus Christ. Man City's gegenpress is legitimately ridiculous, but I see that run from Vitor Roque. What a turn, what a first touch. Vitor Roque to make it 2-1, and he takes it. You just need to give him a clear way of goal, and he'll take care of the rest, man. Vitor Roque is amazing. It was a brilliant first touch to get past the first defender, and he rifles that top left bins. Ederson doesn't stand a chance. Here we go, Man City's gegenpress is not working out for them well here, because look at this. We're going to feed Roque in once again. Can he get his hat-trick before half-time? Yes, he does. We are absolutely killing Man City on the break. It's worked every single time. It's mental to think we're playing tiki-taka football, because it's the polar opposite of what we're actually playing in this game, and we're playing counter-attacking football, and it is working. And at this point, it has to be said, Vitor Roque has got to be the best striker I've used so far in FC24, man. Every shot he's taken, he's scored. We might be 3-1 up, though, but we're not taking a foot off the gas as we are early in the second half, looking for another ball to Vitor Roque. Can he get another shot off? Can he get another goal? Great save. All Man City need is one chance, and they're back in this. We definitely need a fourth. And here they come. Moretti's on the ball there. Oh, my Lord. That's what I mean, man. 60th minute. Not even 60 minutes into the game, should I say. 3-2 up. It's open game again. Moretti with the goal, and I can't even say anything bad against that because that's a phenomenal strike. Here we go now with Alejandro Balde. He's found Ferran Torres. Can we spot that run into Vitor Roque? He's a bit open. He's got room. And look, oh my God, Vitor Roque is actually amazing, man. I think that's his 5th shot at goal in this game, and he's legitimately bagged 4 goals from it. Here comes Ferran Torres. Can we get Vitor Roque's 5th goal? Look at that. He's left the lick for absolute dead. Look at him go. Can he fit it? Oh, my days. I actually thought he was going to make it 5-2 then, man. What a run. Man City got the ball back. Surely this is game over. Yes, it is. We have absolutely decimated Man City in the UCL final. Ironically, beating them with absolutely no money spent. And with that, we have made Barcelona the world's best club. And honestly, at this point, it's not even close. And with that, our journey with Barcelona is done and dusted, guys. If you have enjoyed this video and want to see more content like this, be sure to leave this video a big old thumbs up and smash that subscribe button if you're new. And if you're still here and want to see more content from me, just click this video right here because this is a banger.